Hello, John DeCook here for Building Geek Cred, brought to you by the Werewolf and Borg. On this episode, we'll be unboxing Dice Throne Season 1 Rerolled. Dice Throne is a dice game that uses a similar strategy to Yahtzee, where you will roll your dice, retain what you want, roll the ones you want to re-roll. You can do that up to 3 times. And after that, you have a hand of cards you can use to manipulate the dice if you can pay the cost for those cards. So you have to track your health, you track your combat points, and those are used to do various things throughout the course of the game. Now, the original Dice Throne, which at the time was just called Dice Throne, not Season 1, was on Kickstarter in 2017. It delivered 6 characters in box sets of 2 characters apiece. Every character has its own playing tray, its own set of unique dice, its own set of unique cards. There are a few cards in common between the decks, but for the most part, each character has their own unique things they can do. They released 2 characters strictly through the Kickstarter, that is the Treant and the Ninja, and those were not available at retail until now in Season 1 Rerolled. So what they've done is repackage this into a large box. Looks like a book. You can see a real nice job they did here. Looks like it's an actual gigantic volume. All the characters are displayed there on the back of it. Let's take a look at what's inside the box. All right, we're going to go ahead and pop the plastic on this now. Being careful not to damage the box as we do this. The box opens very nicely. It's not terribly tight. As you can see, all the characters are in here, each in their own individual box. You have a set of instructions here, as well as some other things that you might need to play the game. And each of these characters comes with their own tray. This happens to be the Treant. You can see within the tray, first of all, they hold together fairly well. When you pop the tray open, they're made by game trays. Each character has their own folding board. This board shows you what each of the characters can do. So as you're rolling the dice, much again like Yahtzee, you're attempting to get patterns. For instance, if you roll 2 leaves and 2 of these sort of knot symbols on the Treant, you can go ahead and enact tend. A different pattern, looks like logs and leaves, gives you overgrowth. Each of the characters has a different series of things they can do. They also have cards that you can purchase to overlay and make these more powerful, perhaps adding in different attacks. In addition to their player board, every single character has a sheet that shows you what's on their dice, gives you an illustration of the character, gives you a description of all of their abilities as well as what their tokens represent, and on the back there's a little bit of flavor text talking about them, as well as an FAQ, which gives you a good idea of how the character plays. Each character has a health dial. This works pretty standard, where you rotate it to indicate how much health. I'm sorry, these are combat point dial, not health dial. They do have a health dial here as well. It's got a 10s and a 1s to make it easy to track things. Their own custom set of 5 dice, and then their own set of cards. Gives you a turn order card here, so you can tell as you go through how to play the game, as well as the cards that are unique to this character. So every character will have a similar setup to this within their board and within their little game tray. So that is the Treant, the Ninja, the Paladin, the Monk, the Shadow Thief, the Pyromancer, the Moon Elf, and finally, the Barbarian. Now, one other thing that I appreciate about this game very much is they give you an approximate difficulty rating on the characters. So when you take a look at their information here, on the side it gives you a complexity rating, and the number of dice that are lit up is how complex it is. For instance, the Barbarian is 1 die. Let's take a look at the Ninja real quickly here. I don't know if it'll be any more challenging or not. Yes, you look at the Ninja has the 2nd die lit up. So he's a little more complicated than Barbarian, but not the most complex in the game. So this gives you an idea when someone's coming into the game for the first time what's a good starting character for them to have. Final thing I want to point out is the quality of this box. Notice it has built-in dividers in here, and these slot perfectly into those dividers to keep them all individually accessible. And then your packet of materials goes right in the middle, and the whole thing goes right back together. So it's very nice. When you display it on a shelf, it does indeed look like a rather large book. Also, it matches well with the Season 2 set, full set. Oh, sorry, nice piece of art inside the lid of the box as well. But it matches perfectly with the Season 2, so you display it this way. Looks like a huge book on your shelf. So that's it for unboxing Dice Throne Season 1 Rerolled. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm John DeCook for Building Geek Cred.